Breaking Bad is widely regarded as one of the greatest TV shows of all time, not just for its gripping storyline, but for its deep dive into human nature, morality, and transformation. Following the journey of Walter White, a mild-mannered chemistry teacher turned meth kingpin, the series blends science, suspense, and raw emotion in a way that redefined television storytelling. In this video, let's explore the real chemistry behind the show's most iconic moments. But what really set him apart from the rest? His command over science. This wasn't a show about guns and gangs. It was a show about how dangerous knowledge can be. From precise meth synthesis methods to using phosphorus and acids for deadly tricks, Walter's actions were often rooted in real, fascinating science. In this video, we'll walk through the real science used in the series, what parts are accurate, what's exaggerated, and what could get you in serious trouble if you tried it in real life. We're not glorifying crime, we're glorifying science done right, or at least explained right. 1. What is meth? Meth, short for methamphetamine, is a powerful central nervous system stimulant. It's chemically similar to amphetamine. It increases the amount of dopamine in the brain, creating intense euphoria, making people feel very awake and energetic. But it's also highly addictive and harmful. Addiction means you can't stop using something even when it's hurting you. At first it feels good, but soon your brain craves it all the time. You lose interest in things you once loved. Friends, family, and work start to suffer. Your body gets weaker, your mind gets darker, and quitting feels almost impossible without help. That's why addiction is not just a bad habit. It's a serious disease that needs care, support, and treatment. In Breaking Bad, Walter White first used the pseudoephedrine method, extracting it from cold medicine and reacting it with red phosphorus and iodine. Later, he switched to the P2P method, using phenylacetone and methylamine, and his famous blue meth was made. Walt's product was said to be 99.1% pure.
I know all about your operation. See, my partners here tell me that you produce a meth that's 70% pure, if you're lucky. What I produce is 99.1% pure.
In real life, methamphetamine is a white crystalline powder. It doesn't turn blue unless it contains impurities or coloring agents. So, is blue meth real? Nope. The blue color was a dramatic twist. Some dealers actually started dyeing their meth blue after the show aired.
My partner tells me that your crew switched to a P2P cook because of our success. You dye your meth with food coloring to make it look like mine.
But chemically, pure meth is colorless or white. Blue would be a sign of contamination, not excellence. In Breaking Bad, Walter White used the thermite reaction during a scene where he needed to break into a secure door. Thermite is a mixture of iron oxide, rust, and aluminum powder. When ignited, usually with a magnesium strip or intense heat, it triggers a violent exothermic reaction. The reaction produces molten iron, hot enough to melt steel. And yes, this part was legit. Thermite is real, dangerous, and very hot, about 2,500 degrees Celsius. One of the most common uses of the thermite reaction is in railroad track welding, where it melts iron to fuse rails together without electricity. The military uses it in incendiary weapons to destroy equipment, melt metal, or disable captured gear. It's also handy for cutting thick steel in demolition and repairing heavy machinery in places without power tools.
Jesus.
Now the explosion part. Remember that scene where Walt walks into Tuco's office and throws a crystal that explodes? He claims it's mercury fulminate. Is that real? Yes. Mercury fulminate is a shock-sensitive explosive. It looks like crystalline powder. Even slight impact can trigger a massive explosion. But here's the twist. You can't mold it into a large crystal and toss it around. It's far too sensitive. The explosion in the show? Slightly exaggerated. Still, the idea was based on real chemistry. Now about ricin, Walt creates ricin from castor beans. It's odorless, tasteless, and extremely lethal. Ricin works by inhibiting ribosomes, cellular structures that make proteins. Without proteins, your cells die, and yes, just a few milligrams can kill a person. What's brilliant here is that Walt, a chemistry teacher, knows how to extract it. The method is dangerous, but scientifically sound. Now the infamous hydrofluoric acid, the bathtub scene. Ah, the scene that made us all cringe. Jesse tries to dissolve a body in hydrofluoric acid in a bathtub. Big mistake. Hydrofluoric acid, HF, is one of the most dangerous acids out there. It doesn't just burn your skin, it seeps through and dissolves calcium in your bones. Silent, deadly. In the show, it eats through the bathtub and the floor below. But here's the scientific catch. HF is corrosive, but it's not strong on glass or ceramics. However, it can dissolve metals, skin and bones. A better acid for body disposal, though unethical to say, would be piranha solution, sulfuric acid plus hydrogen peroxide. Still, the horror of the scene, very real. Gas masks and lab suits. Necessary? Yes. The chemicals used in meth synthesis are toxic. Ammonia gas, hydrochloric acid fumes, and phosphine gas can burn your lungs and cause long-term damage. Proper labs use gas masks, ventilation systems, fume hoods, gloves, goggles, and full PPE. In the show, Walt and Jesse's gear was fairly accurate, especially in the RV scene. Now let us discuss about the desert battery stranded in the desert. No power, no escape. Walt builds a battery from scratch. Using brake pads, copper wire, and potassium hydroxide, he creates a homemade galvanic cell. The idea? 2 metals, electrodes, an electrolyte, and a chemical reaction that generates electricity. By connecting multiple cells in series, he makes just enough voltage to jumpstart the RV. Is it realistic? Technically, yes. In practice, it'd be tough, but the chemistry is sound. It's one of the smartest uses of science on TV, and proof that knowledge is power. Literally. So here's the summary. The chemistry in Breaking Bad was surprisingly accurate. The methods were real, but often simplified. The danger? Very real. Meth labs explode every year due to improper handling. The blue meth? Fiction. Ricin is deadly. Breaking Bad didn't just entertain, it taught millions that chemistry isn't boring, it's dangerous, fascinating and powerful. But remember, chemistry is a tool. It depends on the hands that use it.